Okay, so this is the last one of the deadly assault. It's actually going to reset. I've been putting this one off, um, just because out of all of them, this is the one I just don't like doing this one the best. It's not necessarily that hard. Like you'll see my gameplay with Yixuan, I'm not as good as I should be in the sense that there's a lot of tech. I think there's like a alt cancel you can do, but I mean some of that stuff's like okay. Like if I'm using Yixuan and you can cancel one of her ults into like a quick assist, or not a quick assist, but just an assist, so that while she's doing her ult, you can do something else with a different teammate. But as you can see, my team is Yixuan, Pan, Yinhu, and Pulchra. If she's doing one of her ults and then she cancels and quick assist or cancels into someone else while she's doing the ult, what is Pan Yinhu or Pulchra gonna do, right? So right now that tech, I didn't look into how to do it. I'm sure it's not that difficult. I mean, I'm assuming it's not that difficult. It might actually be harder than I think it is. I have no idea. I saw that tech was possible and I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I mean, what am I gonna do with Pan or what am I gonna do with Pulchra? It just anyway. So the point being that while I do like Yixuan a lot, this run ends up being kind of like you'll watch me do it, and it's just kind of like not that interesting. But yeah, let's just get in here, and I'm probably gonna hit maybe 20k, 22k. Uh, well, I'll have to restart. Actually, what I should do to start is I should just straight up activate her things. Let's do that actually.
Allow me. Let's make this quick. Great. Inadequate.
I usually don't get hit by that, but because there's no prompt on it, it's really annoying to dodge it. And do this, and change cancel into this, and this. And this is kind of, you just do this kind of repeat. Like I said, this is probably better combos. This is like as good a combo as I kind of figured out to get. You just kind of do this over and over again. This move here, if anybody in the comments wants to enlighten me what that move does, it might be a DPS loss. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea what that move does. If is it beneficial? Am I losing DPS by activating it? I don't know. And here I'm burning this ult here because it's just quicker to burn the Pulchra ult there. Because I'm not going to use it on the miasmic shield anyway. I think the miasmic shield reduces how much days you do on it. Because when you hit her on the miasmic shield, when her miasmic shield is up, she's still accumulating days in the background, but I think it's reduced. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me on that, I think. But I think it is reduced, so I'm not sure. Then you do this, then you do this, and this. So this takes off the shield basically, and then you well this does. There you go. So now the shield's gone, and you're back to normal. Chain attack 1 into this. Chain attack 2 into this. I don't see, and then I don't know which one of these you can chain cancel in and out of, but you can. Or not chain cancel, but you can cancel one into another one. I'm not entirely sure how it goes. There's not a combo that I really look into personally. I don't know what that was. I must have said. I keep messing that up.
Great. Let's make this quick. Strength and finesse.
Oh, oops. I didn't have enough for that.
Swift yet
I'll just do
still.
this then. That's fine.
As decreed. Swift yet still. Clear yet murky.
There's a few mistakes here and there, but for the most part, turned out about as good as it could have. Yeah, when you dodge counter, with Yixuan, it gives you some of her bar back. But normally, the point with that, I probably would have gotten like 22 or something like that. But that's pretty much it. If there's anything in terms of like my gameplay, again, as usual, I probably could have dodged a few more here and there. But in terms of like execution, that's just like I could do 10 runs to minimize that, which, you know, whatever. But that's about as that's about as like, you know, high end as it's going to get from what I'm capable of with this team. So like I said, as optimized as I can get it. It's just doing that, but slightly less mistakes. And to reduce mistakes, you just do it over and over again. So it's like if I was live streaming, it'd be easier because I could just do like 10 runs in a row. But I'm not going to upload a 10-hour, 4-hour video. But just kind of show you how that goes. Like I said, you want to, like your stunner, you want to use her ult outside of the miasmic shield. Normally, the Unfathomable, her miasmic shield is different because she loses so much of it in that when she throws those spikes down that you have to dodge, she loses like a huge majority of it to the point where I only had to use Pan Yinhu's ult to basically remove the whole bar. Other like that one miasmic, I think that cultist miasmic thing, whatever, I forgot what it was. You have to kind of use multiple ults on that. But in terms of like this one, you want to use Pulchra's ult outside because I think the miasmic shield does reduce days buildup, and Pulchra's ult builds so much days that it's like you really want to save that for when you need it. What else is there? Anyway, like I said, there's not a whole lot to that fight. That's why I was kind of whatever about it. And like I said, the way I have Yixuan is kind of, what's the word? She's not bad. She's a great unit. It's just that there's not a whole lot to do with her. Yeah, I just have to like chain cancels. Just to learn how to do chain cancels. Learn how to dodge counter and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure her meter stays up. Learn how to use her meter efficiently. I did the triple one where like when she counters, she does the counter attack, the follow up, and then the follow up, and then the last follow up where she does like she spreads her wings like that. She kind of just explodes. You don't want to do that every single time. You want to do that most times, but every so often you want to just avoid doing that so you can have energy. Just to make sure, because you always want to have meter. You don't always want to burn all the meter you can, right? So just to be efficient with her. So we'll just go over the gear. I run her on, as you saw, King of the Summit. She's got 57 crit rate here. With a bit of improvement, she could probably hit like 60. Yeah, with one more crit roll, she'll hit 60-something, 60.2 or whatever. Plus, one of her Mindscapes gives her 10% crit rate. So if you get her to 60, she's at 70, which means that she benefits decently well from King of the Summit. Not like amazing, but not terribly. It's more than nothing is the point I'm trying to stress here, which is why I'm running her on her own W engine. I need to upgrade this, but her damage is kind of negligible. As much as I'm like, oh, she gets a boost from King of the Summit, the crit damage, it's still negligible. Unfortunately, there's just nothing. There's just not much you can do about it. It is what it is. Yeah, so I run her on this engine. You guys saw here. I'll go over that in a bit, but here's the build. Yeah, I kind of like this build that she has on. Now, the reason I'm running energy regen here instead of impact is mainly because King of the Summit requires you to use your EX special. There's no indicator that shows you when this buff is active, which I couldn't find any, but I mean, maybe I'm not paying enough attention, but there's no indicator that says when this buff is active. So I'd rather be safe than sorry, making sure I activate it, keep it up more, which, again, you kind of need energy regen for that, so I like to keep the buff active and having her do some energy regen. So it's a 50-50 between, you can either go impact here, so you can do this, and then you can swap this over to this, and there you go. That's not bad. But there's several things. There's several reasons why I went with the other one. So this gives you, on average, you're gonna want to burn her EX special as much as possible. So this doesn't stack up to 8 times, right? The highest it stacks is gonna be 60 because you're gonna want to burn it as soon as you can. So yeah. So 6 times here. So 6 times 3 is 18. Times 2 is 1.2. So you're getting 19.2 days off of this engine most of the time, right? On a decent uptime, give or take a little bit. But the point being is, for the most part, you can pretend like this is a constant 18.2. So 18.2 plus the 18 here is not bad, plus the 50% energy regen. Now, the reason I go with this is because we're losing 3% here from this, but this thing here gives you 60 energy. So I'm going to replace this here. Replace here. But this one gives you 60 energy, which, from my testing, from the way I use Pulchra, it's harder to keep her buffs up with this. I know 10% isn't a lot, but it does sort of feel like it. Like every time, like I've done this Unfathomable run multiple times. This is a good place to test whether I've been using this. So I've tested basically everything on Pulchra, kind of mixing her stuff around to see what I can do to, like, whatever. And I found the best combination to, in fact, be Box Cutter plus the 60% here. So you're missing 3% here. Well, you're missing the 18% here. But you know what I mean? Like, here you're possibly getting... not this one. You're possibly... I even tried this one, which even this one wasn't very good. But here you're getting the... again, it's 19.2%, something like that. You're losing like the 4%, but what you're getting here is another 16% days, which is pretty good because it stacks with this, and it stacks with all your impact and all that kind of stuff. You get 6 more days here. But you're also getting, again, her damage isn't great, but 24% physical damage isn't bad, considering the fact that, especially here, if we can, oh my gosh, I have to go out, get out of like 4 menus. It's ridiculous. Unfathomable, if it'll let me, has physical weakness. So I just, like I said, I've tried all the different combinations. This is the one that ended up getting me my 23-4 here. Let's go back and look at the builds here. Here we go. So yeah, I don't know. It, like I said, this just ended up feeling the best. I want to boost this attack up, but I need to save resources. Actually, I can if I wanted to. Yeah, I have enough of this resource that I can, let's see, 43. See, it's not bad. But I do need to save a lot of these because I need to, in case if I get Alice, I'm pulling for Alice. I'm dumping all my resources, whatever I have left into Alice. Currently, I'm not going to use this stuff here because, again, I want to keep that for the skins, and that was pay to win currency, and I'd rather not do that. I'd like to pull for Alice, but if I get the pity down and I don't get Alice, then at the very least the pity's down for Orpheus later. So, whatever. You don't lose. Alice would be nice, but it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah. So anyway, the point being that I'm saving resources for Alice. Is why it's not maxed out. Otherwise, I'd probably just max it out. It's not that big a deal. But again, the biggest thing I want to take away is her damage isn't that great. So investing all these resources to get slightly more attack on her and all this other stuff isn't good. It's nice to have, but it's not great, right? Because you just have, she's just not built to do a lot of damage. But even though I have her kind of built damage-wise, I have her built damage as much as possible without investing too much because you just get minimal returns on her investment here. Mindscapes all the way up to 5. What really would boost this run higher would be if I got her to max out here. Because then she gives everybody on the team 30% damage, which that's kind of crazy for where is she? For Yixuan. And here's my Yixuan build. The HP is a little bit inflated. We'll go over that in a little bit. But sheer force, crit damage, crit rate. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen her build already. Here's this and this. So yeah, here's the build. 2 crit damage pieces. I do value crit damage on Yixuan more than I value crit rate because she gets so much crit rate from other places. So she gets 20% here. So if we just, let's see, that's it. So if we just get her 20% here, go look at her crit rate. So she's at 43, plus 20% is 63, plus this gives her another 12% crit rate. 63, 75. She's at 75% crit rate, which ends up being half crit damage. So your crit rate to crit damage ratio, you want it to be about 1 to 2 on most characters, which this brings her 1 to 2, so it's fine. That's why I don't prioritize too much crit damage on her, too much crit rate on her, because she just gets a lot of it from random places. But yeah, so the inflated HP comes from the fact that I don't have an ether damage bonus Yunhui Tails piece. As soon as I get that, I'll put that here, but it's going to be kind of hard to replace this because I got pretty decent rolls on this. 2 into flat attack, which that kind of sucks, but 2 crit damage, 1 crit rate, not bad. But the point being, it's easily replaceable as soon as I get a decent ether damage, and that'll probably boost her damage up quite a bit. Like I said, you're kind of overstatting on her HP if you do it that way, but they're both kind of replaceable. Especially like if you find if they release other units with more ether damage bonuses, the HP is going to be better. But for now, neither one is kind of significantly better than another. You know what I'm saying? So that's her build. Look at this. This is terrible. This could use 1 HP roll. This could use crit rate. Just anything really. But yeah, so that's my Yixuan. Here's the Pan Yinhu. The Pan, again, it's not that big a deal. Just upgrade this. Don't invest a hamster wheel into it. It's not worth it. What are these called? Are these called hamster? Yeah, hamster cages. Don't do that. But since the EX special is a fair bit, like you may as well get the days and the damage from it. Like I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. I run him on quick assist set, the Astral Voice, and energy, and that's it, right? So you just want to keep these buffs up all the time. This is not mainly on him. Normally I put this on him, but because it's Deadly Assault and I can just, swap gear around, I give him this because, for one, the shield bonus doesn't do anything, but the 18% damage increase is good for the whole team, as well as the 12% days. You just get stuns faster, plus it gives him 18% impact. So yeah, this is perfect for him. If I ever replace Seth, and if I get Alice, Seth is going to come off of my Jane Yuzuha team, so it's Jane Yuzuha Alice. Then he'll be retired forever, and Tusks of Fury will go to him. So the investment into this defense W engine was not worthless, right? It's any defense agent is going to end up needing it or using it anyway, so... yeah, so you just energy regen, attack percent, and thankfully, so normally his weapon has a low base attack, plus you have to get this attack stat, and this will get him over 3,000. You want his attack to be over 3,000, so he gives Yixuan the maximum buff. But because this base attack is so high on this weapon, his substat can be impact, and it just gives you, again, more stuns faster. What else? I guess that's everything. The only other thing I might do is I might upgrade this just to get more days here. You don't use this chain attack because it's a waste of time. It's a huge waste of time, actually. It takes so long. It's like 2 seconds or whatever, 1 or 2 seconds. But I might upgrade this for better days. It's not even that much. Look at that. It's only 4% days increase. That's ridiculously bad. But anyway, yeah, that's that. The last thing, I guess, is... Mindscapes. Now, Pan Yinhu, this is the only Mindscape that matters. So if you get this one, you're good until you reach 6. And then 6 gives them a humongous extra boost for 720 sheer force. But everything else is useless. Like this. Whenever his like thing, you use it twice, you get 4 energy. 4 out of 100 energy, mind you. That's like a 4% energy. Like, it's just worthless. Like, his other mindscapes are terrible.
I can help you ward off
But yeah, so that's
misfortune and
like I said, that's the Unfathomable. Kind of boring, but the thing was about to reset, and like I said, tomorrow I think is tomorrow's Friday, so I'll probably have the video. So yeah, 8 hours from now. So tomorrow, by the time I get off work, I'll have the video for the new ones, and we'll do first runs, and we'll see how they end up. I'm actually kind of curious who's next. I feel like she's not going to be here because she's been here twice. Den and Butcher and Marionette. One of these will probably be here because they're both irritating. I don't like fighting either of them. This one specifically, I don't like fighting. You'll see this team. This is kind of a, I'm rambling on again, but you'll see this team here perform better on a better unit. Like this wasn't a good showcase for just because the unit you're fighting, but otherwise, you'll see a better. She looks a lot better when she's fighting a better unit. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, like anyway, I'll see you guys next video.